we join our hero, the super secret agent James Bond, on location at a secret global covert operations agency base, GCOA for short. This organization of brave men and women make up the secret frontline defense against the forces of communism from the free world. With agents stationed around the globe, the GCOA commands the most deadly of covert missions aimed at weakening the Soviet military infrastructure. As one of the most senior special agents, we join our hero while on break between missions, engaging in idle conversation with the regulars on base. This is Nuclear Nightmare. This is made by Crad and released in 2004. It is a mostly pretty standard MegaZeux game, kind of top-down shooting things. And I gotta say, for what it is pretty fantastic. So let's look at the game, shall we? The graphics, considering that it is a standard MegaZeux game with 1x1 graphics, are really pretty fantastic, honestly. The music sounds pretty good. I enjoy it. And the sound effects are quite plentiful. They sound really good, and they're, I would have to say, they do fit what is going on in the game. So now let's look at the gameplay, shall we? So as far as the gameplay goes, I would have to say it's pretty solid. I will go as far as saying that it is kind of wordy. There is a lot of text that you have to read, and there is a lot of stuff that I ended up skipping because, you know, I'm doing this video series and that is what I do. But as far as just going through the game, it's mostly pretty straightforward. There are some places that that did end up making me go a little bit in circles, but I mean, that's nothing new. Anyone who has seen my LPs kind of knows that I tend to go in circles all the time. One thing that I would like to see, and maybe that I would have seen if I did play through the game a little more, is the use of these different weapons. There are 3 different weapons programmed. There's your standard bullet gun, there's the RPG, and there's a laser rifle. And although I suck at most of them, they're still pretty good for, you know, as far as their programming. They're just kind of hard to use unless you're like spot on sometimes, especially when you're used to using, you know, your default bullets. It does kind of make a difference, because when you're using default bullets, you're trying to shoot at where things are going to be. As for the other 2 weapons, you're kind of shooting at where they are. Anyway, enough rambling about that. This part here is one that kind of annoyed me. Having to deal with the wind was kind of superfluous. Wind in any game is just kind of annoying, honestly, but as far as actually navigating through the base, the wind dies down and you're good to go. There are a few kind of fetch questy puzzles in the part that I've played, and they're they're not too hard to get around. I mean, it does take a little bit of figuring out what it is you're trying to do, but overall not too bad. Also, this game kind of did something that many games don't manage to do in this series, is that I kind of forgot that I was actually doing a review type thing, and I ended up playing this for 10 minutes instead of just the required 5. Most of the time when this happens, it's because this game is so terrible and this. I just want to see how terrible it actually gets, or if it actually does get any better. But no, this is a really solid game. Just looking at it through the editor, it does seem a little short, but overall, I mean, it's definitely worth a play. If this is your type of game, this the old school MegaZeux style, then I would definitely suggest that you give this one a try.